Just been to the supermarket, got all the essentials, Frosties, Golden Grahams, and my favourite has got to be the good old Cookie Crisp. Hey guys, what's up? Scott Devine here from scottsbaselessons.com. We are back in New York City, filming in the studio, and we've got somebody really fantastic coming in today. His name is Brad Miller, and he is one of the... I actually saw him on Instagram a few months ago, and I was like, who is this guy? He's super young, and he was just playing with the heaviest dudes in New York. He was playing with like Sean Rickman and Oz Noy, Wayne Krantz, and I was just thinking, well, there's something going on here. This guy must be really killing it to be getting gigs with those guys at that young, that young of an age. So we gave him a shout and we said, hey Brad, do you want to come down the studio? We're going to film some stuff with him, and he's going to bring his band down as well. You're going to see all of that in this video. But I also want to say, obviously, like, everything's working out for Brad, and he's super young and he's just like absolutely nailing it. But what about all the players out there that isn't happening to, and that are really stuck in a rut? And like, if you are that person, like I have definitely been there, where I just feel like my playing is sort of like standing still for eons, for way too long. Like some students that I've worked with, their playing has not changed for years. Like they literally have just been stuck in the same place for years with their playing. If that resonates with you, in this video I'm going to share 5 really strong reasons why that is happening, and obviously I'm going to show you how to break that pattern as well and get out of that. But without further ado, let's go down the studio, check out what Brad's doing, and then we'll get on with the lesson. Don't drop it.
Yeah, but don't film this.
Carry on.
These to go that way, so that's going to go. Haven't used. It says what lights they're on.
We're lost.
Look. Oh mate, yeah.
Still lost. A lot of you might already know this place because I was here last year filming all the courses for the membership. But we've just got here now, we're waiting for all the higher gear to get here, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you guys in the studio before we get started. As I said, we've got Brad Miller in today, and then tomorrow we've got, who's in? This is what it looks like right now, but we're going to turn this into a. Here's the guys. You. Here's Roseanne. He's the man with a plan. So the high gear just arrived.
There's a card reader in the market, not yours as well. There's
the camera gear. And we had sort of like
drop there, basses in the center, and whatever keys or guitar on this side.
Here. Hey Story. The studio Story. Everybody say hello to the guys.
Hi guys. Hello.
They will play the head twice. That's about it. Just like that. They're gonna get it.
Okay, so let's talk about why there is so many people completely and utterly stagnated with their playing. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you're not getting any better. Number 1 is the simplest and the easiest one, the one that everybody knows, is that you're not practicing enough. But we all know, we all intuitively know that to become great at anything, whether it be playing a musical instrument or coding or building houses or whatever it is, you need to do it a lot to get better, right? Number 2 is actually more about practice. I do apologize about that, but it is important. Number 2 is that you are not practicing consistently enough, okay? It is not, you know, you're not going to see the results that you want if you practice like 2 hours on a Saturday. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work like that. You need to practice consistently. So somebody was saying to me, is it cool to practice, let's say, for 2 hours on a Saturday and hope for the best? Or is it best to practice 20 to 30 minutes each day for 5 days a week? Absolutely do that, right? Absolutely do that. You'll get more done practicing 20 to 30 minutes a day than just a big block of time on a Saturday. Number 3 is the shiny object syndrome, right? You're chasing shiny objects. And look, I'll be absolutely honest with you, this isn't all your fault. Let me explain, okay? Now, obviously, you're watching this video on YouTube right now, yeah? Obviously, it's on YouTube. There's an algorithm. So when somebody uploads a video onto YouTube, okay, an algorithm decides based on people's behavior whether that video will be shared out among the platform, or the opposite, it will bury it and no man will ever see it, okay? Now imagine 2 videos. One video is of a guy, and in the thumbnail it's a big thumb and he's slapping. You click the video and instantaneously there's like loads of pyrotechnical flash slap bass. Oh, it's great. Okay, click, 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 like, right? What does YouTube think of that? Great. Loads of people are watching this video. We'll boost it up in the algorithm. Think about video 2. Now, video 2 is a quieter guy who's not flash. He's not showing you all the pyrotechnics, and he actually starts off his video in a mellower way. And hidden in that video, maybe 2 or 3 minutes into it, is a piece of information that is just going to be gold dust to you. It's going to change your life. I'm sure you watched a video before and the guy just drops a little bit of a knowledge bomb and you're just like, oh, whoa. That just completely changed the perspective you thought about something when playing the bass, right? Videos like that, there's loads of them on YouTube, okay? But the YouTube algorithm pushes out the flash, because as soon as you watch them videos, people are they're clicking like, you know, they're sharing it, that whole thing, okay? So that's why the shiny object syndrome isn't all your fault. Obviously, it's hard when you know, not to chase that shiny object when it's coming up in your YouTube feed, and this is why YouTube is fantastic. But as a solid learning platform that's going to give you step-by-step information in the correct order, it's not that, because it's governed by an algorithm, because it's based on selling ads. That's how they make their revenue, okay? So, you know, I'm not bashing YouTube. I have, you know, it's built Scott's Bass Lessons to what it is today, but I'm just giving you a heads up that is why the shiny object syndrome isn't all your fault. Still, don't do it. Okay, so number 4 is a really interesting one to me. It is, you don't know what to practice or how to practice. Okay, so in terms of what to practice, and I mean that by in terms of, like, I'm sure a ton of you out there are picking up your basses but you don't really know what to practice to actually make a big difference in your playing, okay? My recommendation for you is to break your practice time, however long, into 5 categories. And each practice session you have, you're going to allocate a certain amount of time to those 5 categories. So category 1 is technique, facility, and articulation. And technique is a huge deal. And by technique, I don't mean playing fast, okay? I can sit behind a drum set and I can play a beat, but I kind of sort of like, my time isn't very good, and I have good time, but my time on a drum kit isn't that good. Why is that? It's because my technique's not right. My technique is damaging my sense of groove on the instrument, okay? Bass is exactly the same thing, and it's going to affect your rhythmical groove, your feel, your time, and that is actually what number 2 is. So following on from technique, obviously you need to get that together. The second category is time and groove. You need to work on your time and groove, right? You need a systematic approach to work on your time and groove. That's why we've got like 2 or 3 courses in scotsbasslessons.com solely based on time and groove. Remember, time and groove, super important. The third category is fingerboard visualization, and by this I mean you need to be able to look at your fingerboard and be able to visualize an outline of the chords as they go by. So if somebody says, hey, it's a C major 7 chord, you need to be able to be able to outline that chord all over the fingerboard. How do we do this? We do it by scales, we do it by arpeggios and chord tones, we use chromatic notes. That's what all of that stuff is for. Scales, arpeggios, chromatic notes, all of that stuff is to help us be able to visualize and outline the chords as they go by on the fingerboard. The fourth category is actually genre-based studies. So, and this is something that really I've got a lot from, is kind of dedicating a certain amount of time every time you pick up your bass to work on a particular style of music, whether it be jazz, blues, reggae, rock, metal, pop, funk, the whole thing. You know, you need to like kind of deep dive in there and get as much as you can, because there's so much learning you can do by drawing inspiration from different styles of music and learning about those styles on our instrument. It's a big issue if you're not doing that, because you're really missing out on a key part of what you could use to push your bass playing to the next level. Number 5 is learning the language. So if you've heard all of us have heard a phrase like that, right? Well, you need to be able to know how to play that phrase, okay? That's like a word to me. When I hear somebody playing, I'm just like, oh, that's that word. It's like a phrase that they've played. So if you hear common phrases bass players are using in their lines, you need to learn them. That's like listening to somebody speak and they're using a phrase, they're using a word to describe an action or a situation. You need to learn that word and be able to use it in your own vocab, right? Music is exactly the same. But also in terms of learning the language as well, it's important to learn the language of music in terms of harmony, understanding the diatonic harmony, the major scale, and that we've got a chord built from every note in the major scale, and how that ties into everything else. It's so important. Without learning that part of it, you are learning scales and arpeggios and all of the rest of it for nothing, and they're just going to be like these weird individual things that don't tie into the bigger picture. Learning the language of music and the language of phrasing, that's the bigger picture. It ties everything together. But look, I can tell you all about these categories, and the last 4 points that I talked about in terms of why your bass playing is just standing still and not getting to the next level. But this fifth reason is the most important. So number 5 is that you are not practically applying what you are learning. Okay, you're not practically applying what you are learning. This is key. So we can sit in our studios or our bedrooms or our living rooms and we can practice all the scales, all the arpeggios, all the time and groove exercises, have our categories sorted for our practice, the whole shebang, right? If we are not practically using it to create music and applying it in real life situations, then none of it makes sense. It doesn't matter, because it's not going to be fully absorbed into your musical self of who you are, right? You need to be either getting out there in jam sessions or playing with friends or in bands or whatever, and actually practically applying this stuff for it to sink in. Or you can use, and it isn't as good as going out there and playing with another band, or if you can't do that, you've got to be playing along with jam tracks. Man, like there's so many jam tracks out there nowadays. You've got to be using them. Don't get stuck in that, hey, I've got to learn another scale mentality. You don't got to learn another scale. You've got to learn how to practically apply the ones that you already know. Okay, so like most of us know a major scale. Most of us know a major scale. How many of us can actually use it in multiple situations and really know how to apply it and really know the inner secrets of it? Okay, you know where I'm going. I'm not going to sort of like, you know, bang you over the head with this. You know where I'm going. Now, hopefully you've got something cool for them from this video. Hopefully it's inspired you to do what I'm talking about and get practicing and organize your categories and start practically applying it and the whole thing, right? Because I want you to get better as a player. And that's what I'm here for, to get you, you know, to that next level in terms of your bass playing. Now, if you enjoyed listening to Brad Miller play, go check out his website. I think it's just search Brad Miller Bass on Google, you'll find him. But if you are an Academy member, you're going to get we've got a full interview with him coming next month, super high quality. We've got obviously the performances of his band and stuff like that, and we've got a ton of other stuff coming as well. And if you haven't noticed, if you haven't been taking note, we actually are doing these player profiles. We've been doing them the last few months. We've had Kevin Scott and Henry Hay and his band down. That was up with the Ground Up label. And we've had Moto Fukushima with the House of Waters in. They brought their whole band in, and we've been filming the bands. These are all exclusive performances just for the members of scottsbasslessons.com. So if you're not a member, go to the website and grab a free trial. It gives you access to essentially the ultimate online bass school. It's a completely new opportunity for bass players such as yourself to study with the best bass players in the world, like self-study courses, but also study with them in real time, because we have live streams every single week, so you can actually study their self-study courses, and then you can go and ask them questions every single Monday when they're streaming, right? It's insane. It's just a crazy platform. And if you are wanting to get your bass playing to the next level, if you do, you know, want to do all this stuff and you really want to push it to the next level, come and join scottsbasslessons.com, and I will see you on the inside. Now, other than that, take it easy, and I'll see you in the shed. Whoa, 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 where are you going? If you haven't subscribed to the Scott's Bass Lessons channel yet here on YouTube, click the link, subscribe. I release 2 videos like this every single week. You can also check out our other videos over there, and if you've not checked out scottsbasslessons.com membership, check it out. You can grab your 14-day free trial over there.